On CPD, I would say Hurricane, or Nakuru as he has it spelled. He's probably the only player I really know that much about. So other than that, I can't really speculate.
For sure, I think those are definitely some good predictions. Nonetheless, we are jumping into the knife round, deciding which side each team will start on. So we are going to see, actually, Irinaku is in a weird position here. He's going to try and, yeah, he will get away safely. I thought that they were just going to kind of group up on him and take him out, but was not the case. So, again, no swipes being traded just yet. Dai will trade with Manta. So these knife rounds always start so slow, but finish so quickly, don't they? We are going to see UBINITED 2 versus 2, and there it goes. So UBINITED will be able to choose which side, and undoubtedly they are going to be picking CT. So we are jumping into the pistol here.
Yeah, and I mean, it is typically considered a CT-sided map. However, I always say that it's a T-sided map in the aspect that T-side will make or break you. In other words, if you come into this map prepared, and it's a little bit less so in the recent seasons because this map has now been in the rotation long enough that pretty much everyone's played it enough times to know how it plays, know how it feels, and have a default strategy. But back when it first came out, if you didn't have a clue what you were doing on T, you were screwed. But if you could pick up those 5 or 6 rounds, you were set for the CT side. So it always came down to, regardless of the fact that the CTs typically won the half, it always came down to whether or not the Ts could secure the right amount of rounds. So, I mean, keep an eye on that. Like I said, that's sort of a dying stat now that the map's a little more regulated into the rotations, but it's definitely not common to see teams completely flop on the T side.
Yeah, and we should be getting into this pistol round in just a moment. We're seeing everybody ready up, and will be interesting to see.
I think also just another stat, team to team this varies obviously, but I think it's something like 54 to 46 in terms of A-B splits. And obviously one team's going to favor one bomb site more than the other, but across the board that's usually where it was. I think that's where it rounded out this year in ESEA. And if you want to get really technical, some teams will completely avoid mid, but getting mid control on this map gives you quick rotation through the vents or directly up the turnpike into A. So watch the terrorists to try and get a mid control early on.
Yeah, very important. Whoever takes mid control definitely obviously controls the map, very similar to other maps in our pool here. We are going to see the knife, or rather the pistol round go live. 2 kits, one on Dim, one on Dai. So playing it very safe. Should be a B-side play, though. Does coming in first, Miss Harvey getting 2 1-clicks as they come through. Dim with another. Manta will trade. Dim will get the next frag, so it is all down to Hurricane, and from the vents, we'll grab 1 frag, CZ75 in hand, but Dai will collect that one, and a very, very quick round for UBINITED, not even getting anything started.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I said. Miss Harvey on the pistol rounds, that you said it, 2 1-clicks, she's extremely good on a pistol round, and it's so good to have a strong pistol player. I mean, there's been pistol round heroes throughout the history of CS that have been able to sway games in big moments when it's needed, and this will give them a great start on CT. This will really hurt things for CPD. We're already going to see them come out with 3 rifles this time. There's 2 FAMASas out in the hands of Dim and Arya, and Miss Harvey's gone directly for that M4A1 with those double kills. And D, watch out, she's holding on to a CZ75. I'm not aware that she opts too commonly, but maybe she's looking to buy one for a teammate. That said, in middle, things are going to get heavy. Arya, there it is, double kill with that FAMAS. Make it a triple now as he swaps over onto that USP. And Potter's going to come up with one of her own before Dim can close out with that FAMAS. So another team ace, or pardon me, the first team ace for UBINITED, and that means CPD has had no choice but to save for one more round.
Yeah, absolutely flawless round for UBINITED. CPD not able to get anything working there, and we're going to find out where that money is going to go for Dai, like you said. Should be saving up for the first gun round we see for the Ts, but actually they're going to be forcing up this round. So no bomb plant or anything in those first 2, but they decide to grab 2 AK-47s and a Galil, and they have the other 2 equipped with a CZ75 and a P250, so could catch UBINITED off guard. We do see in terms of rifles, Potter's the only one with a Bison, so it's not a huge deal. All the other ones kind of have the firepower to deal with, but definitely might catch them off guard, as we do see the bomb kind of just outside of Squeaky here. They're just going to be playing nice and slow, just waiting to see if any of the CTs get aggressive. As we can see, though, isn't going to be the case. The Dai will be smoking off Squeaky as they come into sight, and first frag will go to Potter with that Bison. Can she get anything else done? They're kind of stuck in a hard place here. Smoke's up, and They are going to provide a nice wall, but we do see Arya and Potter picking up Potter with a 3K, and only one player left in Does left in this round, and he's going to go down, and now their economy is going to be looking not so hot, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was trying to mess with my controls. Apparently, I unbound my auto-director. Not that it matters, but was messing with that. So an A push that goes not so well for the T side. That's going to give us our standard 3-0 lead, and a little bit slow on the call of whether or not they're going to buy on the T side. Also, want to mention, I just got called out for not subbing to the channel, despite that I'm still talking with my mods. So I apologize. I will sub as soon as this is over. Obligatory sub.
Man.
I know, I'm sorry. Where's my community support, right?
No
Meanwhile, in mid, Arya is going to go ahead and spam away through that smoke that he himself deployed, the only male player on UBINITED for tonight, and continue to spam away. Watch out, Timo is going to try and go for that boost. I think he's actually just sitting directly on the other side, not yet peeking over middle. Yeah, he is, just with that P250 in hand. And they've actually saved one more on the T side, so holding on to all of the economy that they can.
Yeah, as you were, I don't know if you missed the whole last round, they forced up in that round, so
oh, they
2
did.
AK-47s.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was messing with my controls. So I'm glad you caught that. Meanwhile, in A, though, watch out. D's going to go ahead and get one. Potter picks up another. And D with that CZ75. That gun is so powerful. Manages to pick up dudes, and that's going to drop them down to only one player remaining now. As in middle, Miss Harvey picks up one with that M4A1. And Arya, the only one to drop so far for UBINITED, so things looking really good yet again for CPD. TMO with the bomb, or pardon me, for UBINITED, as TMO is going to rotate back over to the B side. Spotted up already by Dim. Nice shot, though. Manages to pick off her, and that will allow him to at least get into the bomb site. And if he can get the bomb plant down, that should be his only objective for the round. And there it is. That's great economy situation now for CPD heading into round number 5. But, of course, UBINITED will get this defuse, and 4-0 will be our early game score.
Yeah, we kind of had one question answered. We do see Die with that AWP. We'll get, I believe the first frag was with the AWP, and then CZ75 on the second.
Yeah, she swapped it over. It's interesting to see her picking up the op, because typically in the past, I know on Inferno, Potter's normally the one that grabs it, and her op is actually pretty fierce, so.
Interesting, so maybe some different
and
strategic
Arya,
options
watch
here.
out with the auto sniper, so watching mid.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. We do see 3 of the CTs heading towards mid here, and they're going to be spamming through is Arya with his Scar 20. Doesn't get any damage done, but they will be boosting over, and that's going to be 2 frags for the T side. Potter will fire back, but still is a man advantage for the Ts. They're in a good position. We do see Die flanking, though, missing a crucial op shot, and going to miss a second, so this is going to be difficult. Will flash out and attempts to get away. Miss Harvey goes down, Die goes down, and it is all up to Potter now. 1v4 headed back to the B site. This does look like it should be.
No, they're going to go back to A, though. Nope.
That's actually a good idea. They have some sort of intelligence, which means they know Potter is near this B site, or they're just opting to head over to A regardless. We can see that it's only Potter, and she is now going to move through Z. And I totally have to turn off voice comms because that is so distracting.
Yeah,
I always
actually,
forget
it was
to do
good
that,
information, though. Yeah, I actually leave it on when I'm not streaming because it's sometimes good information. And Miss Harvey, they're saying she should not have pushed and that she actually misread that entirely. And that's kind of what opened things up for CPD. Watch out in the smoke, though. Potter's going to catch out Manta. That's the first one down. So still a 1v3 post-plant situation, and she's not going to go for this. She's going to try and save that AK. Watch out, though. There's one in mid directly behind her, and there it is. TMO gets the op kill, so no gun save for Potter. And yeah, I think all they did there, I don't think Potter's position was given away so much that late in the round, but they knew that she's been playing truck side, and the A picks already happened and she wasn't around, so obviously she'd rotated toward the B site. So just a good awareness play there by CPD to go back toward the A site and get the bomb down.
Yeah, no doubt, and we do see UBINITED will be able to buy once again. Potter actually still has $6,000, so even if they lose this one, should be able to hand out some pistols, worst case scenario, but we are moving into round number 6 here. TMO with that AWP once again. It's going to be picking into A main and just kind of spreading out. Working picks are the T side. Do you see Miss Harvey just waiting behind the smoke near that B site? And again, 3 terrorists near mid, and actually we do see Ozukad. Is that another one of the backwards names? Are you aware of another way to...
I don't know. I'm not familiar with him at all. I apologize, but I don't know. Whatever's easier to say. I think it's Ozukad we'll go with.
All right, Ozukad it is, and he was trying to spray through that main warehouse. didn't work out, but Crosshair was actually perfectly on Arya, but no damage done. So again, just a very slow round, 40 seconds left on the clock, and it does look like it should be an A-side play. Die in the back of sight with an AWP in hand. Potter here as well, an M4, and they're going to be heading on in. Die with the first frag as they try and enter in, and Potter will grab a second. Here we go. They're going to try and push in, and only 3 terrorists left. They will pick off Die, so only 1 player in sight in Potter will go down, so sight control goes to the T's. Arya on the quick rotate, though, walking up from truck side, will get flashed momentarily, sees the bomb being planted, and will get the bomb planter. 2 versus 2, tries to check quad, and runs out of ammo, and that's going to be Does getting that, but
gets the burn. No. It is Dekuzo, by the way, so I just looked it up briefly.
Dekuzo,
and David
that sounds way
also
cooler.
messaged me immediately. Also, map order out of alignment, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw David under the bus, because we thought Inferno was going to be first. Obviously, we're playing CPD's choice of map on cash first, and UBINITED's taking control of it, but keep in mind, I said the magic number for me is 5 or 6 on the T side. Obviously, any more than that, you're going to be pretty well off. So winning two rounds there quickly for CPD is definitely going to help them out, and that means UBINITED is definitely going to have to try and get back into it right here before this gets too far out of control. D's going to push really aggressively into A main and use that smoke as cover. And this is an interesting boost that she's doing over top of the smoke there. Her own smoke at that on top of the box. So. And Potter's also there to pre-flash, or I guess secondary smoke. I expected it to be a second flashing in for D. As she continues to push up, Dews meanwhile looking toward blue door. Not a lot going on. No commitment so far from the CPD side. In fact, the bomb still dropped down in that spot in middle. And there it is. Hurricane's going to get the first shot on Arya, who gets aggressive toward middle, I think. And that's a little bit unfortunate now because, as I mentioned, mid-control for the terrorists does open up the map massively. As we still see D pushed up in A main. Potter supporting inside the site. Watch out, though. Dews is coming toward that door. And this could be an exchange. Looks like he's going to jump across, wisely so, as Potter's behind the forklift. And that is actually a really advantageous angle for the CT side, because when you shoot from that angle toward the blue door, it actually creates a lot of sparks, and it's hard to see exactly where the player is. As Dekuzo is going to go ahead and take down Dim. Dews now trying to catch out Potter as she rotates back toward Turnpike. TMO is going to get D inside main, and the A site is open for business as Potter falls all the way back to truck and then gets taken out. Nice shot by TMO on that op, and it's all on Miss Harvey, who's still over at the B site with that that M4A1. And undoubtedly, she's going to try and hold on to this as the bomb will go down on A.
And trying to save in what Ricky calls as useless room. I don't know what you use for this call, but flash room, something like that. I don't know. Whatever works. But we'll be saving over here. Hard map to save on, quite honestly. Especially if they're out hunting. But as we see on the radar, not really going to be the case. The bomb should tick down. Hurricane is in the vicinity, but should have a little bit of conflict here as Miss Harvey, and she's going to peek out. Yep, that's going to be Hurricane with a crazy shot. Will put down Miss Harvey, and that is so unfortunate. No rifles being saved into this next round, and it will be an eco for UBINITED. So let's see what they decide to go for.
I mean, CZ75 aside, and actually they're only going to go with 2 of those on the board. If things go according to plan, this should be the 4th round already for CPD, so it's going to be a tough ask for UBINITED if they continue to let this slide.
Yep, exactly. We do see Dim peeking. Seeing some players in back of B halls there. Miss Harvey pushed up close, 5-7 in hand. And playing very slow are the T's. They realize that could be an eco here. Dews actually spotting some players coming from Squeaky, and there's going to be some engagement happening near the B site as well. Miss Harvey puts down Manta, so that's going to be 2 frags for her. And she will be able to collect an AK-47 for her efforts. And now we see Potter getting Dews. So round not looking so hot for the T side. DMO will take down Die. So that will be a pick for the T side. But 2 versus 4 definitely in the favor of CPD. We have 3 AK-47s on the field for the CTs. And TMO gets another one on Dim. So this could be a round for the T's, but definitely going to be difficult. They do see Miss Harvey, or we see Miss Harvey inside of sight, and Arya will go down, and now it's a 2v2. Just getting 1 pick at a time are the T's, and moving into this B site. Miss Harvey has her work cut out for her. Will get one frag. Can she get the second here?
Yes,
Gets
sir.
the quad, and that is going to be the round eco round victory for UBINITED.
Dekuzo played that a little bit, I don't know, poorly there. That close, it's not hard to control the spray, and by trying to continue peeking her while she's wasting all of that ammunition, all he had to do is really get to cover there. Nonetheless, great play by Miss Harvey, and that's going to let UBINITED get away with one there. And fortunately, the eco works out well. That gives them their 5th round and shuts down CPD, but unfortunately for them, for UBINITED, they still have the economy to buy, so they've got to win one more before they're going to break the terrorists. And right now, look at the mid-aggression, smokes out, but there's Potter already pushed up on the right side, managing to pick up 2, and Arya coming up over top on top of that garage, that lip, I guess you'd call it, manages to pick up Dekuzo as well, so already only 2 players remain for CPD. And a desperate TMO decides to spam away with that AWP as D comes through A main, manages to spot him up, gets him with the headshot. Beautiful play. And can she get the second one on Manta? No, the 20 bullets, not enough. The the A1, about 1 bullet shy in that case, as only 9 HP remains for Manta, but he's got 3 opponents in his way. As Arya, Miss Harvey, and Dim will close in on him inside the big garage, and there it is. Miss Harvey secures the round. UBINITED 6 now, and CPD still on 3. Not a bad half so far for CPD, but UBINITED trying to keep it well and secure.
Yeah, Potter playing that angle very, very well. They tried to go with that kind of wall of smokes, maybe work vents from the T side, but definitely stuffed from Potter. She's just going to be holding near the vents. And that will be another round in the books for UBINITED. You see an eco on the board for CPD. Manta leading the charge towards the A site, heading into A main. Tech 9 in hand. Slowly but surely they are moving up here. Manta flashbang torqued backwards. Should be flashing in for the rest of his teammates. We do see Dews will be moving around, heading to the squeaky position, and here they go. 1 pick for Die as they come into sight, and Potter's gonna burn Hurricane to death. And the other 3 terrorists moving on out. Arya with 1. They will trade back, though, and Dim will
nice
collect
shot.
and Die with the CZ75 will finish off that round. Great one for UBINITED. Only 1 frag for CPD there.
Yeah, and there it is. Now the economy's looking pretty grim on the T side. They do force up a little bit here. We've got a couple players that were in a position, so they've got 3 AKs already on the board. And Dekuzo, interestingly enough, yeah, there it is. He could grab. So they got 5 AKs out. I was going to say he could easily buy one out. So 1 more round with guns, and then they'll be back onto the save. And they've only lost 3 consecutively, so no bonus in effect yet. So it will definitely be a save for the T side. Miss Harvey over at B, going to go ahead and smoke up in toward tunnels. Oh, look at the boost over top. And Arya with that auto sniper manages to get 2, but there's still a 3rd player that got over top, and it's Hurricane. And a great double by him to trade it back into a 3-on-3 situation, and manages to get away as Dim comes in through the vents, and that smoke secures his escape as he flees for cover back inside the big garage. Meanwhile, over at B, watch out, TMO, and it looks like Manta are going to try and work toward the site. Dim's up inside the vents. They managed to boost her forward, and I'm not sure she's aware that they've gotten in behind. Now they'll work into B, but likewise, if she hears them right now, she can rotate back on them, and look at that. Hurricane's going to go down as a result. That's the bomb carrier as well, so Manta is now stranded inside the B site, and Miss Harvey's up above in heaven, so this is not looking good for CPD. UBINITED by far have the positional advantage right now, and Miss Harvey's going to go ahead and flash the 2 players inside the B site. And Dim, once again, from Checkers, is going to get 1 more kill, and managing, oh no, pardon me, I switched over to D right there with the op. Nice shot. That was an interesting camera switch because they were so close to each other. I was extremely confused, but there it is. UBINITED securing round number 8, and as I said, it will be a save for the terrorist side this time.
Yep, moving into round number 12 here. Eco for CPD. We'll see if they can pull out any interesting strats. Last one was basically just an A main take. 1 person through Squeaky. It didn't work out in their favor. 1 frag on the board for their effort. And actually, they're going to be... Let's see if they throw some sort of fake here. It's actually going to be Hurricane and TMO heading over to this B site and actually scout on TMO. Die will collect the first frag of the round. That's going to be from CTB connector there, but over near the A site, we do see Potter right outside of the squeaky door. Manta looking to get aggressive, but Potter will put down the player in A main. Dews will be sitting this one out, and Manta will peek out by himself, and just 1v1 peeks across the board for the T side. Not exactly what you're wanting to do in your eco. Definitely want to kind of work, well, at least a lot of people like to work the kind of swarm strategy. Get on in and get some frags in there. Maybe try and rush a bomb site, but Potter will go down, so one frag here, but Die with the knife out, looking for the chance, but isn't going to get it. Arya with the CZ75 finishes off the round.
Yeah, so another strong performance from UBINITED, of course. Not much contesting them in way of firepower that time. And it will be right back into an AK. Well, are they going to go for all 5? What's the situation? Dew's already bought, so yeah, they should be able to, yeah, they will get 5 AKs out. Actually, they're going to go for a scout on TMO. He has been pretty effective with the off when he had it out. Of course, the scout in with the movement speed and the movement dynamics of CSGO is pretty advantageous if done right, and I think he's got a CZ75 as a backup, so that's an extremely potent combo. As Miss Harvey, though, is going to go ahead and take down Manta over toward B. Watch out, Dews, though, getting boosted up in middle. And where's TMO with that scout? Still over at the B halls, and that's going to get smoked out, so Miss Harvey, very wisely, is going to fall back, and interestingly enough, he's going to abandon that scout and immediately pick up the AK of his teammate. So perhaps abandoning the pick strategies. Cash is one of those maps as Arya. Oh, look at that. D's also going to get Drews as I was going off on a tangent. It's one of those maps where with scouts, especially, or pardon me, with any scoped weapon, perhaps auto sniper side, so op scout, if you're going to run more than one of them, you've got to get picks early because it limits your access into the sites. So TMO is elected to go back to the AK. 2 players remaining, though. It's only Dekuzo and TMO, so they're up against all 5 UBINITED players. Shots fired in toward the A site, though, and Dekuzo is going to get 1 frag. Pardon me, that's at middle. I'm completely lost on the map right now, so nonetheless, that's 1 less player in the way. They're not going to go for this round win. I can't imagine with 30 seconds on the clock, but they'll at least do any damage that they can. Bomb still down in middle. Dekuzo is going to pick that up, and actually, there's a bit of an opportunity to work toward B, although Dim has fallen back out of those vents now into checkers. So this should be a 2v2 situation on entry. Smokes and flashes going out to try and get them in, and TMO gets a crucial kill on Dim. That's going to allow Dekuzo with only 19 HP to try and make a one-on-one situation inside the site, but D rotating quickly from middle manages to pick up a nice double, the second one doing so with the AWP, and that means UBINITED 10-3. They kind of missed an opportunity to get inside B site there.
Yep, and Diet will spoil the party, dropping out, getting that up shot. And we are going to see UBINITED with an incredible bank, 13k, or over 13k on 2 of their players. So definitely going to have a wicked good economy for the rest of this half. We are in round number 14, so only 2 left here. T-side definitely needs at least, if they could grab these last 2 rounds, it's definitely not over for them. The thing is, I haven't really been seeing very much that has kind of made me think they might grab these rounds. So we're going to find out here. I'm not completely counting them out, but Die will be peeking from Squeaky. Misses that frag, but TMO will miss as well. So they are going to peek each other once again, and both players again missing. So Miss Harvey will collect a frag in mid. Arya following it up, so that will be 2 players down fairly early in this round. 5v3, and CPD once again on the back foot. They do not have map control, and we even see Dim pushing up through back B halls here. So definitely calling that information out. Arya will get another frag. Just kind of in this cubby in mid. You have 1 player, TMO. He will be boosted up in mid. Will peek out and does get Arya down to very low HP, but unfortunately that is not going to matter. Hurricane will take down Potter, but we'll get peeked shortly after. We'll get a nade kill after mid-death, I'll say. Not after the death, but mid-death.
So this is kind of where I was saying T-side make or break you. CPD did get those 3 rounds at the start, and it looked good for them, but since then they haven't really executed anywhere. They've kind of been throwing standard entry smokes to block off checker on B, but I haven't seen very many strong A takes with smokes toward truck and in the backside by quad. There's been not a lot of execution, and unfortunately that's where I was saying the lack of preparation on the T-side on cash is exactly what will haunt you. It's still possible if they could pick up this round, but only with 3 heading into half, it's going to be extremely hard. We are in a 3-on-3 situation already, though, as trades going on heavily over at the B site, as Miss Harvey and Potter bow out for UBINITED, and Hurricane and Manta do the same on the CPD side. And watch out, though. They've got Galils, AKs, Scouts, whatever they could possibly buy up for the final round of half, and D is doing a fantastic job with that AWP, so they've definitely found a home for her on that weapon, as she now picks up a second one with that CZ75. TMO, meanwhile, though, is going to go back into her. And unfortunately for him, the bomb is actually down just beside him in the A site, so he could still make something of this. And there's the OP scout jump right there, COD 4 style, if I may. As TMO is going to take down D, and UBINITED's laughing about that in comms right now. And that's going to give him an opportunity in this one-on-one to try and plant the bomb. But with an auto sniper, Arya is going to lurk up from the turnpike area. Looks like TMO is aware of his position, still trying to look for that fantastic Superman jump shot and not going to find it. Nice flashbang coming out right there. And watch out, CZ75's up close. Here it is, the Battle of Thorn's favorite weapon. And TMO's actually going to come out with it, so that's a crucial round. Getting the fourth one for them might put them within somewhat of a reach if they can win out the pistol on this half.
Yep, exactly. We'll see if they can carry some of that momentum into the second one here. Definitely would make a difference if they can pull out that pistol. Again, I say this every time. Every caster is going to bring up the pistol round and how important it is, but definitely when you're moving on to the more favored side, picking up that pistol could mean you get those first 3 rounds and then, again, build up momentum. Start the climb is 11-4, so definitely in favor of UBINITED. So we're just waiting for them to ready up here. This is the first map of our best of 3. So regardless, we will be going into a second map, and that will be Inferno. And then if so needed, we'll have Mirage as well. So about to get into our second half here. Again, you guys are watching RGN Winter Classic. This is our first day of action here, and we're happy all you guys could make it. We are jumping into the pistol round right now.
So we'll see how they choose to play this. Of course, the first pistol round went the way of UBINITED, and as I mentioned, Miss Harvey is so strong on those rounds. She picked up an instant 2-tap double, I don't know how to say that. 1 tap a piece, double killed, 2-tap double. I don't know.
I actually
you know
liked
what I'm
how
trying to say.
When originally we were talking about that 1-tap, I think you missaid and said 1 clack for a second, and I honestly think that's so gangster. 1 clack just sounds so cool to get 1 clacked. I'm going to start using that term, so
Right.
no big deal, right?
Accidental discovery, I'll take it. So we'll see how they choose to play this. Looks like UBINITED is going to be a little bit slower than you might expect on this map for the pistol strat. But watch out, because look at the setup right now from CPD. Drews, Manta, and Hurricane all inside the B site. Dekuzo's at Z, Hall's in the connector at mid. That's going to give him a quick rotation. And TMO's all the way back by truck. So A is essentially opened. And one good smoke already out from Potter. That's going to block off truck side. And Potter's suddenly going to be aware that, hey guys, A's wide open. And Ari and Miss Harvey are out. But what? Interesting. They're going to try and sell this as a nice shot by TMO. That's going to take down Miss Potter. Arya to drop as well. Harvey's going to have to sell this fake on her own, and she's not going to be able to do it. She's down and out as well. And with the 2 players inside the B site, if Dim can at least get the bomb plant, no, not going to hold on to that. At this point in a 1v4, it might be worth it. Yeah, and you can see D saying that in comms, in the in-game chat. She should have held the bomb. In a 1v4 and a pistol strat, unlikely that you're going to win it. So go for the economy. At least salvage what you can. And unfortunately, Dim not choosing to do so, and that's going to give CPD a very good pistol round.
Yeah, that actually makes such a big difference, getting that bomb plant in the first round, and like you were saying, the 1v4, probably not winnable. If you go absolutely nuts, you definitely could do it, but at that point, 1v4, just get the bomb down, get that money, and move on to the next round. So we do see a scout on Dim, so that's going to be boosted up here. We do see some trades early on, Arya getting 1, but Du's firing back. And Dim will take some damage from this boosted position. You see him facing that player in Z. But not a heck of a lot of action going on otherwise. Die just hanging out outside of Squeaky. Will open up and get aggressive. That will be Manta from Forklift, spraying some bullets her direction. Nade as well. Only 20 HP down. So not in a dire situation. We'll peek out once again and just trying to get that headshot angle on Manta. Manta with a P90, so not exactly the best, and that's going to be a die. Picking up that frag should be an easy one for TMO, and that will be the case over near B. Miss Harvey will go down. Potter last one alive.
Needs to get the bomb.
We'll stop and take the fight, though.
Sorry, not to cut you off. They had an opportunity to get inside the site. Dekuzo had lurked toward the turnpike area, and that kind of left, I think it was only TMO in the backside of B. I could be wrong on that. And that gave Potter an opportunity to get inside the site and go for the bomb plant, and unfortunately it didn't happen. Again, another one of those situations where if they got those 2 bomb plants, we'd be looking at a force buy, or an easy, not even a force, a gun round at this point. So, one thing to keep in mind, if you're a newer player, if you can get the bomb down in the early rounds, do it. Because if you're in a situation where you're men down or whatnot, it's going to help you in the long run. Right now, though, they're going to try and rush it directly in the 8. TMO is going to get one. Manta, look at that CZ75 picking up a double, and Dekuzo is going to go into D, but Arya manages to at least get one for UBINITED before Manta closes out on the round. That was very quick, and now finally they will be able to get AKs on the board.
Yeah, AK-47s across the board there. Got smoke grenades on everybody as well. Pretty much full nade sets, so they should be ready to work an execute of some sort. Who knows? Like we were saying, T-side very important to take mid control, so let's see if they decide to do that in this first rifle round. And at the moment, we do see just kind of a split off, kind of standard. You throw 2 mid, 1 near Squeaky, 1 A main, 1 near back of B halls, but they're going to be boosting 1 into vents. Are the CTs, Dews? He's just going to be waiting in this position, and actually, TMO is going to get an op frag. I don't know how. Okay, the door was open, so that's why I'm like, wow, how did he get that? So anyhow, regardless, it's going to be an early pick for the CTs, so advantage in their favor. Going to be boosting up once again. That will be Miss Harvey. And they're going to try and work mid a little bit more. Dews still inside of the vents position. And they are going to push out here in just a moment. Miss Harvey now coming out. Dim following suit. That's going to be Dim going down in mid. And TMO with another frag. And that one was through a bit of the door. It's still wide open, so he could get that. 7 HP on him. But it is a 2v5. Definitely not the situation UBINITED wanted to end up in. Arya, Miss Harvey, still alive, heading toward this B site. 35 seconds left on the clock. You see a flashbang heading into sight, and here we go. They're going to try and take here, and first of all, wow, that happened very quickly. 2 frags to the CTs, and that will be UBINITED dropping another round. CPD up to 8 rounds in this map.
That was kind of an interesting play at middle. Drews was inside the vents and had a huge opportunity to pop out and kill the person that was just outside of the big garage, but I think he was aware that they'd boosted one up on top and didn't want to peek it. And Potter was looking for that frag, never came her way because Drews didn't happen to pop out. Dekuzo managed to win the 1v1, and that left Dews alive to rotate back over to B. So I kind of expected him to pop out. He didn't. Nonetheless, look at this round already. They just mop up UBINITED, absolutely uncontested. Wow. As a 4K for Dews comes out, 3 of which were with the CZ75. That's a huge behold for him, so keep an eye on his play at vents and inside checkers. It looks like he's going to be definitely a nuisance over at the B site, so we'll see how UBINITED respond. Already it's a 2-round deficit, 11-9 now our score, so 4 rounds I said could have been enough to get back into it, and UBINITED, the same thing applies. They've got to get their T side together, otherwise it's going to look pretty grim.
And Dai will have that AWP in hand, will get boosted, so let's see if she can get anything done. Again, mid-control would be very important for them to take here, but hasn't happened quite yet. But just playing back, waiting for picks right now. Dai will get flashed over and misses a frag onto the CT running to a highway there, so we aren't going to see any frags early on. 1:15 still left on the clock early on in the round. And they are going to be flashing out. Wallace smokes in mid, and you are going to see a player in vents. That's going to be Dews, but they are going to get a frag mid. Miss Harvey goes down. They have yet to head over. Actually, Potter is in the vents now. But just working towards that B site, we are going to see a split. Dai is going to be lurking mid, so here we go. 1 frag for the T's. That's going to be 2, and Dai picking off a rotator as well. Huge advantage for the T's, and we're going to have 1 player up in heaven goes down, so it is all down to Manta. Last one on the field, 1v4, will peek into vents, and Dai waiting for him. Handily gets that kill and puts a first one on the board in this half, that is.
Yeah, and convincingly as well, so that's very important. Economy, though, still not out of the woods. They've if they lose, they're going to be right back onto a save. They did lose, how many was it in a row? It looks like they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so they just would have hit money bonus this round, so that will reset now, and if they lose this one, they'll be right back to saving. In fact, they actually had to buy team buy there for Miss Harvey. She only had, I believe, 3,200 at the start of the round, so. And where she, actually, it would have been more than that. She bought 1,000. She had 3,400. Nice shot from Dews. Look at that in B, all the way through onto the B tunnels right there with that AWP. He's playing very aggressive toward checkers. And he already knows that a second player in the form of Dim has lurked up toward Toxic. Meanwhile, middle looks pretty hot and contested. Dekuzo's pushed up. This time it's Hurricane inside the vent. Bombs in the hands of Potter. Look at TMO, though. Already pushed up all the way at long A through the blue door. Looking for that angle. Knows Potter's there, surely. And yeah, there it is. Ooh. There's the shot. Catches out Harvey rotating back, and nothing they can do about it. So this is looking really good for CPD. As I said, it's going to entirely break the terrorists. Takes away their losing bonus and resets their economy. So this is a round they absolutely need in the form of UBINITED. And in a 2v5 situation, it's looking pretty grim. Potter going to work back over toward B. Looks like that's where they want to go. Dim's going to try and do damage. Takes Drews down to 19. That nade should take him down. That generator does so, but Hurricane from those vents pops out, and that's going to be enough to take down both Potter and Dim. So a touchdown pass, not enough to score. And 12-10 now going to be the score. Speaking of score.
Yeah, Dim had one of those moments where you think you might see someone's head, but you're not exactly sure if that's actually someone's head. That was a player in back of site B, and eventually took the shot and ended up being able to grenade down that player because she did hit one headshot through the box there. But regardless, 12-10 is our scoreline. Heading towards A side are the T's. Arya will be trying to get a pick through the smoke there. Won't connect with anybody, and we'll be hopping back over to mid. Manta, TMO playing from the A site. We do see the bomb inside a Squeaky, Dim, and Die here. So Miss Harvey pushing up into A main. Potter right behind. And Arya just working the picks mid. And they are going to get an entry frag here. That's going to be Miss Harvey. Manta trying to get aggressive. Will go down. TMO only one in sight with an AWP. Holding from quad box. And we are going to see a frag there. Hurricane taking down Arya in mid. And this is going to force the T's to execute on this site. And here we go, heading out in between A main and the site here and trying to get some spray down. We are going to see some frags going back and forth. Dim goes down. Potter will return. 3 versus 3 as they come into the site. That will be one frag for the CTs. Die gets one back. Will be down to Miss Harvey. Collects that frag now into a 1v1. 32 HP on TMO. Bomb is down inside a site. And oh, nice what a shot by TMO. Holding one of those tiny pixel angles, and we'll grab that as she tries to get that bomb down inside a site.
I'm going to nitpick one more time. Traditionally speaking, as I've casted UBINITED over the past couple of years, they seem to be a CT-sided team without a doubt, and that goes for the different iterations of the roster that I've seen. That time their execution was set up well, but executed poorly. Dim opened up the door at Blue Door and was trying for possibly the better part of 5 to 10 seconds to get that shot on Decuzo. Decuzo only peeked once, and she still was stutter-stepping, trying to find that headshot, and it never came. Then she decided to smoke him out, which is what she should have done originally, because that had the site entirely open if they'd done that, and it just didn't get them in and it allowed the rotators to get over. This time, though, look at them with the pistols on the eco, rushing into the B site, taking absolutely no prisoners as Hurricane and Dews are going to go down. And the bomb already gets planted, so a little bit of aggression coming out from the girls here, and it does pay off as they find themselves in a, 5 versus 3, but Arya only on 4 HP, and Decuzo is going to take him down, so that's going to close it out. But Potter and Dim doing good work yet again, and Decuzo finds himself as the last man standing, has to do it all in a post-plant situation, catches out Harvey, nice shot as he comes around the corner, but with the bomb ticking away, there's nothing more he can do, and he will retreat to the comforts of the T-spawn. And that'll do it. 13 rounds now on the board for UBINITED, and they've got some economy starting to build up, as that, of course, was an eco round. And actually, interestingly enough, CPD, 3 players actually, below 3 grand. So there's a chance they can fight a way back into this and keep the lead at this point.
Yeah, I think that one round there going to be a little bit morale crushing for CPD. Full eco from UBINITED, just rushing into that B site, and like you said, taking no prisoners, took them down immediately, not losing a single player. Arya dropped down very low, but that was pretty much it. So moving into round 25, 13-11, the score line. Buys for both teams here. We are going to see Potter picking one off early. Manta trying to push through Squeaky, but returning fire. Arya goes down near the B site. So we'll be even. Hurricane, only 8 HP, so that's a big deal. Is in Z connector right now. Potter still the only one over near the A site. The rest of the T's holding from mid warehouse here. They are going to be smoking out, kind of creating a bit of a wall of smoke, just so they can kind of enter and breach mid a little bit further, but actually playing a little bit passive. Miss Harvey now checks all her corners, but that's going to be the frag there for the CTs. Will go down, and we are on to a man advantage for CPD. We only have one CT inside of B site, so that's going to be Dikazu, something like that. I've been avoiding saying his name. I don't know if you caught that or not, but literally Dikazu. I don't know why. Anyhow, regardless,
it's all right. Don't worry. I'm known for butchering names. I'm actually just embracing it at this point.
Fair enough. Sounds good. A creative advantage, right? And we are going to see a beautiful nade. Will put down Dim from Checkered, gets a frag, and Hurricane has to be very careful, has very little HP, and they're going to pop that vent. Will give away the position as they fall down. Will he be able to get the frag? He won't. Rather, she won't. Dim goes down, and 13-12 is our scoreline.
Yeah, so getting close right now, and already the terrorists, unfortunately, I mentioned that they were building up some economy. This is going to be it. They've got to win this round. In fact, they aren't even it's a full buy, quote-unquote, but it's a Galil for Miss Harvey, not an AK, so, and no head armor at that. D with the op, no armor whatsoever. And nades out across the board. Meanwhile, look at the CTs. They've got all the M4s they could dream of, plus the op in TMO's hands, and he's been pretty effective with it. He's actually top fragging right now at 23 and 14 for them, where it's Potter at 21 for UBINITED. Look at Hurricane, though, already getting aggressive at B Halls. Unfortunately, he shoots right down the middle like Moses parting the waters right there. But there it is. Finally, Dews will catch out Potter from inside Checker. Hurricane's going to go back into Harvey. And Dim managing to salvage one. Arya's actually going to pick up Hurricane, interestingly enough. I thought he was going to lose that exchange. With 7 HP, a Pokeball will catch him out, thrown by Manta. And it's all on D. And now we are looking as... Oh, no, Dikuzo. There it is. Better late than never, Dikuzo. But that's going to make us 13-13 and a save round coming out for sure for UBINITED. And it's looking less and less likely that they will secure this half. They've only managed to pick up 2 rounds so far. And, of course, it was CPD's map choice, but UBINITED going to have to polish up their T-side on cash.
Yeah, like you said, only 2 rounds on this side. Had a pretty decent 11-round first half, so didn't necessarily expect to see this, but definitely happens, especially if you don't have that preparation on the T side. Coming into B, this is going to be Hurricane with the first 2. Arya trades back, Hurricane with a third, but they are going to take down both CT players inside of the site here, and wow, missing that op frag. That is Dikazu, and Dim will put him down 2 versus 2. Eco round looking good for UBINITED. They can steal this round, definitely still in this. Would put them up to 14, and bomb has been planted. Time is ticking away. We see Manta trying to peek from heaven. Has his counterpart, TMO, coming from connector.
Smart
goes down. They're going to drop down to crossfire, and that is the round for the CTs, moving them up to 14-13 in this map 1.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. D had no armor, and as soon as she peeked once onto upper, she was kind of out of luck. That Incinerate was perfectly placed and baited her out, so not much they could have done. That was really well executed on the retake from CPD. And as you said, that'll give them round 14, the first lead of the entire match that they've had. And of course, if you can lead a match for only a brief moment, it's best to be at the end. That was a John Maddenism, I suppose, in a way.
I like
it. You get it? Yeah, all right, we got humor. We're doing good here.
Of course.
Team Canada, let's do this.
And we're talking about NFL.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
What is the CFL? Nobody deals in meters. As 4 AKs managed to get out on the board right now for UBINITED, and an op in the hands of D again. We mentioned she's been wielding that rather effectively. She's only sitting at 18 and 17, but she's come up big at key moments. The frag distribution is actually really even across the board for UBINITED. And likewise is the case with the exception of Manta, but at least he's in the double digits, sitting on 10 and 19 for CPD, so D looking for this pick at A. This will try and open things up. Not going to happen. TMO gets the better of the op exchange, and so already a man advantage now for CPD as they smoke off A main, and that will entirely slow things down for UBINITED. Harvey's going to try and make something out of nothing at the blue doors, and TMO's going to try and aggress on that. As Dikuzo, meanwhile, actually is going to take her down. Who was that? That wasn't actually. That was Potter at that blue door. I can't read the small font above their heads with the X-ray on. Nonetheless, Hurricane pushing through middle is going to catch out the bomb carrier on Potter, and a sigh of perhaps anxiety for what lies around the corner. UBINITED not looking good to close out on this match, as now it's Hurricane getting Knocked down to 7 HP. Arya rotating back from B, trying to make something out of it. Dim's going to manage to get Manta, but Manta took down Arya. And now it's all on Dim in a 1v3. The bomb is in her hands, but not anymore as TMO rotating all the way around manages to pick him up. Pardon me, her up. And now it's match point situation for CPD and not a lot of economy to work with for the terrorists. They're going to go ahead and force it out unavoidably and unexpectedly as they pick up 2 Galils, but that's pretty much all they're going to have to work with. I take that back, actually. Dim managing to get an AK, but D working with only a CZ75.
Yep, that mini AK, pocket AK in hand. See if they can make anything work. Heading over to the A site. Miss Harvey leading that charge into A maid. They will be dropping the fire, though. Delaying things are the CTs. And all 5 players, all 5 CT, or rather all 5 Ts, are inside of A main, and they are going to be executing here shortly. Smokes come out, but counter flashes from Manta. Holding from Forklift, a fully blind Miss Harvey will put him down, and they have at least control of their side of the site, but that's not the important side. Miss Harvey with another frag, and that's going to be 2 for her. Down to 4 HP, and Die with a crazy CZ75 shot, making this a decent round so far from the T's. Only 1 counter-terrorist left, and that's going to be Duzin. He's forced to save. Has an AWP in hand. Is not going to give up that expensive weapon. So he's going to be heading over back towards the B side of this map.
Take a look at the money situation for CPD, though. Due to the amount of frags that UBINITED have managed to secure in rounds even that they've lost, they've had to continue buying, and right now this looks good for UBINITED if they can execute on the following round. We could be looking at overtime quite seriously here, as they don't have a lot left in the bank, and there you go. UBINITED gets round number 14, so every regulation round will be used, all 30 of them, regardless of whether or not we go a little bit further here or we wrap it up right now. It's going to be close.
Yeah, Miss Harvey just getting pretty crazy in that last round. Getting the entry frags there. We'll see if they can do it once again. Again, both teams will be on a bye. Not the optimal buy that we'd like to see, or at least CPD would like to see on their side. They're going to have a scout on one of their players, holding mid Z. Die will be kind of baiting towards the B side, takes 1 shot, flashes out. And it does look like they could be doing a similar strategy to the last round. They do have the bomb kind of heading towards Squeaky, so just playing more of a picks scenario. Arya now boosted up. He's going to peek mid. Just going to be watching Z, and as soon as he throws that nade, that will be the CT peeking. So we should see an A-site execute shortly here. TMO putting a bit of a stop to it as they come out. They are going to be flashing, smoking, heading out of the site, and bomb is down inside of Squeaky, no. So that's a very awkward situation. Pushing into sight, Miss Harvey gets 1, Arya gets 1. Trading back, though, Potter will go down 3 versus 3. Die
looking good.
That frag, and it's going to be a USP frag. Arya going down in mid. 2 versus 2. Bomb is yet to be planted. They're going to be doing that right now, and both CTs coming from A highway, flashing into sight. Are they going to be able to retake here? Main player is Miss Harvey. Die still on site with that AWP in hand. First frag goes to the CTs. Can they clinch this for the overtime?
They can't do it.
UBINITED will be losing this first map. They led on the scoreline for so long, but unfortunately it will drop their T side. Only 3 rounds, and CPD picks up the first map of this best of 3.
So unfortunate. Again, a little bit tardy getting the bomb down, but Arya dropped down in middle, I believe to Kuzo coming out of Z through that smoke, and if that had not have happened, if Arya had managed to at least get that 1 frag, we were heading to overtime easily. And unfortunately, with both players coming up turnpike like that, D had nothing to work with behind the red box, and with Harvey going down, that pretty much was the icing on the cake. So, as you said, map number 1 of this best of 3 was CPD's choice. It was DE Cash. They managed to get away 16-14. Now we head to Inferno. UBINITED, of course, picking up that one, and we'll see if they can tie up this series. If not, that'll be it. That'll be all they wrote. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to take a short break while we switch the server over. Not sure if David wants to DJ for you, or what's the plan?
Yeah, J-Raw's going to be spinning those beats, so guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in just a moment.
It's J-Raw. David's unimportant. It's all J-Raw.
Exactly. That's the true workload goes on J-Raw. Let's be serious. Yeah, I'm just joking. David's going to kill me. See you guys in a few.
All right, so it looks like we're back going to be getting into Inferno, and my computer's still getting into the game. Good old Canadian internet.
Love it, right?
Absolutely. So knife round already going down in middle at Inferno. Of course, like I said, this is UBINITED's side choice, or pardon me, map choice. Side choice will be determined as they knife. Takuzo's actually going to go into Miss Harvey. Last time it was, keep in mind, UBINITED that won the knifing for sides. This time we're already into a 2-on-2 situation, so no indicators. Health pretty even across the board. It's pretty much one swipe for anyone at this point, and there it is. Actually, it's going to be CPD coming out with it, so I expect them to start out on the CT side, and we'll see if that's going to be their choice.
Yeah, looks like that will be the choice, starting off on the stronger side. Not a surprise there, especially putting UBINITED on the T side. They did pick this map, so I imagine they'll probably have strong both sides. So we're going to find out shortly here. Again, pistol round being very important. We'll see if Miss Harvey can pull out some one-clacks once again. Going to be looking out for those, but we're just waiting for this to get started. Was CPD picking up the first map in this best-of-3 series. This is RGN's Winter Classic, our first night of broadcasting, and plenty more to come. I honestly don't know. I don't think I'm going to be casting tomorrow, but literally I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're pretty much going hard. So, by the way, guys,
of course,
in terms of the Team Karma game and iPerfection, we are going to be going live with that as soon as this series is done. So they will be starting regardless. They're not going to be waiting for us. No surprise there. But we will be getting into that as soon as this one finishes up. So we will find out if it will conclude in 2, or if UBINITED can pull it back and throw us to a 3rd map on Mirage.
And you mentioned you guys are going to be going hard all week. I won't be around. I'm actually heading out, well, not tomorrow, but I drive away on Wednesday to fly out Thursday morning. Of course, ESEA LAN is this weekend. You guys can keep all of that action, keep up to date with all of that action on Twitch. ESEA, both blue and green streams are going to be in action for every matchup, and of course the European teams coming over. It's going to be Mouse Esports, Titan, Fnatic, and Virtus Pro, who actually got in on the fact that Dignitas couldn't make it. And for the North American side, it's your standard Cloud9, iBuyPower, and then Elevate and Denial are going to be coming in. So there's a lot of really good players that have a lot of LAN experience that are going to be there. So, and Corey Dunn will be on the mic along with Moses, and I think Kyer's going to be joining in with me as well. So keep that in mind. Lots of Counter-Strike going to be going on all week, which is awesome to see, especially on the North American side. So that said, looks like pistol round looks to be ready to go. And as I said, it's going to be CPD starting out on the counter-terror side. Manta, Hurricane, Takuzo, TMO, and Dooz. And of course, the same 5 for UBINITED we saw in the last map. Dim, Miss Harvey, Aria. Oh my god, it's Potter and Diane. So take it away.
Yeah, moving into pistol here. We do see the Terrace just kind of working up alt mid bomb at T stairs. Timo actually getting aggressive here, and they're actually firing shots in his direction. It does look like, no, not quite. He's going to be falling back to top of mid, and they're going to be rushing up here. All 3 Arya will be peeking first, but actually falling back slightly are the Ts, just working mid control. 2 players on the porch side for the CTs, but they are completely smoked off. Coming through the smoke, though, that's going to be Hurricane. Gets dropped by Miss Harvey. That is not the shot he wanted to take. That is for sure. Wrapping through CT are 2 of the Terrace, and they're going to be pinching onto this B site. Dooz will be here, takes down Die, CZ75 in hand, 2 versus 3. Definitely the gun that could do the most amount of work. They're going to be peeking at this construction corner, and they line up momentarily. Arya, Miss Harvey combined have very, very low HP, about 40. And we're going to have 1 player left, 1 versus 3. Can Kazu clutch here? Is going to be dancing from the grill, and will get the first kill. Second, Arya will get that, and a pistol round victory for UBINITED.
Yeah, and again, Arya this time with 3, of course with that CZ75, but again, Miss Harvey contributing early on in the pistols. Another double for her, so of the 3 pistols we've seen so far, she's got 4 kills in them, and I mentioned that from the beginning. Her pistol strategy, or pardon me, her pistol play is very strong, so that being said, back into the action already. Look at Potter going Mac 10, as is D, so this is interesting. They're going for those SMGs, not one I commonly see on the board, but that's their decision, and Arya, Miss Harvey with those frags are going to pick up that extra money, so they'll go for AKs, and Dim's going to be holding on to his CZ75. Dim's going to go, or pardon me, Diane's going to go ahead and open up the first frag on Manta. That's going to be at Banana, and Potter's going to pick up a double. Look at these SMGs doing big work right now, as they'll work all the way into the site. The bomb, meanwhile, though, is rotating all the way around from middle. Miss Harvey's got that, and they're going to sell this and go to A. There's only 2 players remaining. TMO is going to manage to get 1 on the board for CPD before Potter takes out Takuzo. And now TMO stuck inside CT spawn as the terrorists are going to work into the A bomb site. Potter's going to do exchange. TMO gets that frag there, so it's not going to matter, though. It's all for naught as UBINITED will get the bomb down. And 2-0 now our score.
Yep, and 2 frags for the CTs, but was those MAC 10s, so not a big deal. Die and Potter picking up some more change on those kills for equipping those weapons, and then kind of having the SMGs go first, rifles right behind to trade just in case, but wasn't actually necessary for at least the entry there. Moving into round number 3, 2 CZ75s on the field, Manta and Dews. Heading up Banana, Die, Potter. We'll be aggressing here. We'll be trading some fire. Dews dropped to 4 HP and lots of lit CTs over near the B site. And that nade's going to seal. Okay, I totally thought for sure that that was going to work out, but Dews behind that sandbag will prove to be difficult to kill. Potter picking up 1, coming around the corner though. That's Dews, grabs a frag and survives. Die was there with 4 HP, and that will be a trade back and forth, 4v4. Bomb is down on T stairs. Just working slow as UBINITED. Not a bad idea. Die with 4 HP if they lose her. Man advantage for the CTs. They are going to pick up the bomb. Head back, at least momentarily, to the mid position. Miss Harvey will be heading up with Die. Spraying out of Boiler. Arya just providing a presence still at porch side, but Die will be leading this charge. 4 HP. Mac 10 in hand into sight. Manta, second set of oranges, will get fragged immediately, and coming from Garden, that's going to be Dews. 4 HP on him as well, so not a lot of health to deal with. Arya on the lurk will take down 1 more CT, 2v4. Dews and TMO. TMO actually looking back, hoping he can maybe get Arya, but as we can see, Arya's way already inside of sight. Dews, only one to contest this site. Might be able to take out Die if she peeks this corner. Will be able to pick up that MAC 10 for his effort, but not exactly the gun he was hoping for. Will get dropped. TMO, last one on the field, just working some exits.
I'm really enjoying leaving my in-game chat on, because UBINITED uses it in between rounds a lot, so they don't bother their live players, and actually, it's kind of entertaining. It's one of the only teams I'll say worth listening to. Oh, look at... Oh, I thought TMO was actually going to take Harvey's head off there with that P250, but they will close out on him as well, so no exit frags go his way. And 3-0 now, but watch out. Here come the guns, and the guns on the CT side on Inferno definitely make a difference. As, say what you will, it's definitely closer than previous iterations of Counter-Strike. It is still a CT-sided map. You can say what you want. You can make your argument. Gameplay sped up in this version definitely brings the T's a little more into it, but it's definitely still CT. Watch this. TMO's going to push all the way down middle. Oh, lagged by his teammate there, perhaps. I didn't see any nade damage hit him, so that was interesting. And now he's going to take a shot at Dews, so you shoot me, I shoot you. Let's just kill each other and give UBINITED the round right now. Dim's already down and out, though. Harvey, huge double right there with the AK. As Hurricane, the second player to fall, that's going to open things up toward the A site. In fact, it's cracked wide open, but watch out, TMO lurking in alt middle is going to catch out Potter. No, Potter gets the frag, and that's good because the bomb was in her hands. And now D is going to be the left there to re-grab that and try and get toward the A site.
Wow, Die will pick up that fragmenta going down. Was just trying to guard the bomb. All down to Dews now. He will get dropped as well, and Arya collecting that frag 4-0 is our score line. And that was the first gun round, we saw from CPD, and unfortunately for them, they are going to drop it and are forced back onto an eco.
Too aggressive, I think, at this point. You're not that you're playing from behind. You're not ahead. You haven't built up an economy, so you're going to play the risk of getting aggressive the second you have guns, and now you've got to save, so you've essentially thrown away this round as well. So, a bit surprising they went that aggressive that early.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely something that after you kind of work those angles and work the defensive CT, they really won't expect you getting aggressive, but TMO will drop into underpass, takes down Miss Harvey, but that is going to be some frags back for the T's. Only 2 players left for the CTs. Manta, top Banana. Kazu on the flank and will do significant damage to Die, but eventually goes down after taking Die with him. But Manta, 1v1. Dim doesn't have the bomb. It's going to be at the bottom of T stairs. Manta has a CZ75, but only 18 HP. Definitely going to be difficult. That nade, if it was just a little further, just a little further, could have done a lot of damage there. But for Manta's fortune, it will not, and Dim will collect that bomb, head back over to alt mid.
Manta's got to make a play right now, make a gamble. And he's going to actually sit around in Banana just a little bit longer than I guess would have been beneficial to him, as Dim has already rotated it back to A. And with the bomb, this should be a pretty easy round. Post-plant, take position. Manta's still not even close, and with 18 HP, I don't know. Stranger things have happened. I won't speak too soon. I won't jinx Dim, but it's looking pretty good. Dim's playing a little bit out in the open. Not going to fall back into where the pit formerly was in 1.6. Just outside library. And Manta's going to go ahead and throw at that smoke. That's going to give him away, and now Dim knows he's over to the left side. Still peeking just toward Arch to make sure, but playing it off a sound out of her left ear. And with that bomb ticking away, yeah, now it's extremely obvious. He's going to fake, actually, on that first defuse, and Dim's not going to buy it. Peek out at the last second. Nicely done. And that was about 3 seconds, so fake or not, she definitely had that one easily, and that's going to give them 5 rounds on the T side. So I'm eating my words saying they're typically CT-sided. They're doing a fantastic job on Inferno.
And we're finding out why this was their map pick. 5-0 on the T side, definitely looking strong here. 6th round underway. Another gun round for the CTs. AWP on Teemo will be taking that top mid. Just going to try and work a pick here out in the open. Isn't going to spot anybody. You see 3 terrorists working alt mid. Miss Harvey boosted up onto Haybale. They're going to be flashing through mid. But no aggression as of yet. Kind of standard for a T-side round here. They're just going to be working more or less apartments and having a bit of a presence near Banana. Dai is actually the only player near there. Miss Harvey in Boiler. We'll be peeking out here in just a moment. Teemo playing from arches. Takes a shot. Will rotate back, though, and actually 2 frags as they try and push through mid. And Miss Harvey will return. But advantage for the CTs. All 3 terrorists will be heading up to top mid. Just kind of controlling this region of the map. Manta has pushed up all the way from Banana and actually opting to head back there are the Ts. Miss Harvey will get dropped in top mid. Last 2 terrorists are near this Banana position.
And that's actually looking like it's going to be shut down. Manta pushed up inside those sandbags. Going to catch out one on the way by in D, but no, not going to get the second one on Potter. So she's still got an opportunity to try and get inside the site. And with that smoke still deployed on CT, if she was aware that they were all on that side, she could get the bomb down and at least continue the economy pushing in toward the T side, but not going to happen. And Takuzo rotates all the way around through construction and catches her out, just lurking, waiting for somebody to do something. And that gives CPD their first round, and it couldn't come at a better time, to be honest, because they really needed it. Although, keep in mind, this resets their money bonus, so they've pretty much got to string together just a couple consecutive rounds if they want to firmly get back into this.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Last round was important. This one, just as important. Need to continue that momentum. Don't want to get thrown back onto an eco.
The other aspect of that, too, is UBINITED has had enough deaths that they are also looking to save if they lose this. So CPD starting off strong, as I say that. Takuzo and Hurricane both going to pick up a frag.
Yep, playing alt mid the rest of the terrorists. Actually, Miss Harvey up in apps has an opportunity here. They have firebombed the bottom of Boiler, so she won't be able to peek out just yet. So many CTs pushed up here. You see Dikazu pushed up top of underpass, just holding mid, controlling that area. Miss Harvey still in Boiler. Other 2 terrorists rotating through their side of spawn. Let's see if they can pick anybody off. Miss Harvey will get dropped, trying to get aggressive near Boiler. Smoke is preventing them from going any further here. Dude's on the other side of the smoke near Banana. That smoke will fade. We'll see if anything can happen in the favor of the Ts, and the first frag will go towards the CT side. Second one as well, and that is a flawless round for CPD, keeping all 5 players alive and growing that bank.
So there you go. T's forced back on a save and a lifeline thrown to CPD. This is their opportunity to get back in the game, hands down. And they need to make sure they play this extremely well. They managed to pick up 3 AKs. Manta's going to have to buy out on that M4. And TMO's got his customary AWP. We'll see if he can find anything at middle. Potter's going to already be past that mid stairs. That's crucial. No op shot onto her. She's going to try and nade stack. And in fact, this is going to be a decent nade stack. But oh, the damage is done in reverse as Potter eats a nade. Down to 11 HP already. And Manta's going to catch out on Harvey. Those smokes at the top of Banana is going to trap UBINITED inside that alleyway. And it's pretty tight and not that roomy inside that section of the map. Luckily, those pillars will deflect any nade damage that potentially could come in, but that... Yeah, look at that. Manta's going to catch one out with that incinerary, so smoke nade to immediately extinguish that. But Manta, through that smoke's going to catch out D. The damage has already been dealt. Potter with 11. It's only going to take 1 bullet to take her down as well, so... A great round. Manta's got 4, by the way, so Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, looking for that final wild animal right now. To pick up our first ace. Nope, Decuzo's going to get it. Bad manner, Decuzo.
Yeah, what a guy. What a guy. Stealing the ace. Manta clearly trying from the car position, just spraying the pistol over and over and again, hoping to get that frag. But wasn't the case. Still a nice 4K. And like you said, those nades, they were doing their own nade stack up Banana, where UBINITED, but took a ton more damage from, I believe it was only one mate. I don't think there was a second nade from the CT side. I could be completely wrong, though, but it was tons of damage done. Was an eco round, but heading into round number 9. You see UBINITED taking mid here. It's going to be Arya and Miss Harvey and Potter. Arya getting the first frag of the round. That's going to be Timo getting dropped, trying to play aggressive top mid. Smoking off porch side are the terrace. Slowly just walking up mid to arch side. Die. Still in Banana. Miss Harvey just holding an angle towards arch, hoping that one of these CTs get aggressive. It's not going to be the case. Flash out of arch, and that will set them back at least temporarily. You see, no one really contesting the arch side, and actually, no, right as I say that, there will be a frag from Hurricane. Peeks out again. Will he get any more? Dim down to 39 HP. Hurricane dropped to half HP himself. Pushing around, wrapping into the A site are the terrorists. They're going to have Die pushing from truck side as well. Only 2 CTs left, Dews and Manta. Both pushing through CT spawn. Manta suspects that there could be one arch side. We can see on our screen it's not the case, but here we go. Arya in Moto will go down. So at 2v3, one less on the board for the T's. Bomb timer is ticking, though. Dews coming from Moto. Manta from truck side. He's going to push up. Will contest in sight. Potter gets 1, and Potter getting a triple hat-trick in that round. UBINITED picking up their 6th of this half.
Yeah, absolutely. So 6 already for UBINITED is a job well done. 6, 7, 8, perfect. That's all you can ask for on the T side. 8's a luxury, in all honesty. 5, 6, good enough. I mean, this is looking really good for them. There's no question about it. They got off to a great start. 5 rounds consecutively. Like I said, CPD kind of did damage to themselves by being overly aggressive on that first gun round, and that kind of threw away the 5th round as well. They got 3 in a row, but now it's back the way of UBINITED right now, and already Hurricane, manages to get away on 1 HP, but Arya is going to catch out TMO instead, so it's a 4-on-5 situation, but scratch out Hurricane, only 1 health point to live with right now. And as we can see on the overhead display, it looks like all of UBINITED is going to be stacked up in middle. That smoke at the top of mid is going to allow them to at least peek over toward the arch side. Arya is going to be the first man out to aggress on that. And they're both over at truck side on the CT side. So Decuzo, and I believe that's Hurricane there, are going to be all that's left in A. But as I say that, look at UBINITED falling back. They haven't actually done much over on the A side to make a rotation happen, so it's surprising that they've already sold themselves back in toward B. Manta's gone toward CT spawn, though, so despite that he's in position to quickly rotate back to B, actually he's lurking more toward arch side now, so they haven't caught on that UBINITED isn't coming into A. They're heading to B, and Dews is going to be by himself. Smokes onto CT, will catch Manta out, but as I say that, he manages to catch one through, and that's Harvey going down, and Dews in the back of the site is doing a fantastic job as well. As Dim goes down, make it Potter, and D's going to get caught out as well. So surprisingly, CPD holds them out of the B site, as it looked like they were going to have easy access, and that's going to give CPD a much needed 4th round. And it's only 2 rounds the difference now, and CPD's got to do everything they can to give themselves a chance on the second half.
I don't know if you saw, but I think that there was a smoke maybe for Spindle in that area, but they didn't smoke off CT, and I believe that's how Manta got those frags, right?
Yeah, I was looking at the overhead perspective. There was one that was attempted. I think it left a gap on the left side, so good call by you there.
Darn, that will be their demise, Manta getting those frags from CT spawn and eco round, UBINITED. Miss Harvey with a smoke grenade. Just waiting on this B side. They are going to be executing, though, and that's going to be the smoke going down. First frag, Manta taking down Miss Harvey. Trying to get the second, though. Dim tries to trade, but that's going to be all CTs. Dai and Arya. Last two alive. They're going to try and get something done here, but Arya gets dropped, and although Dew's on 2 HP, that will not be a frag. And another round on the board. A flawless one for CPD.
Money situation's actually still pretty good for UBINITED, though, and yeah, look at that. They're going to go 5 AKs. After this, they will be forced to save, so they've got to do something with this. Of course, not that they're just going to roll over and die for the rest of the half, but 6 rounds is already a fantastic job, so it's not like they're under a whole lot of pressure, and with that said, hopefully they'll play pretty passively and just see if they can play a pick game and not overcommit to either bomb site. And as we see them right now, they're actually stacked up in alt middle. Not something we see as commonly in CSGO as we did in 1.6 with the window boosts, but Manta's going to catch out Arya with that AWP, and as I say that, Takuzo's going to get a second one, so the bomb's already dropped down behind them, and they've got to work in position to try and get back to that as Harvey also going to get out to Takuzo. Drews catches out D in the smoke, but D right back into him. Nice shot by her. Hurricane, though, manages to catch her out at middle, and that's going to leave things in a pretty awkward situation as Potter found herself all by her lonesome. And 6-6, a tie game. CPD has worked their way back into it, and if they can make it into a 9-6 half, it's not terribly situated for them going on to the T side, so there's still something to be salvaged.
Yeah, if they got some T side struts, definitely they could make something happen. UBINITED with 6 rounds. Last 3 did go to CPD, so we'll see if they can make anything happen here. Another eco. They're going to be pushing up Banana once again. Manta grabs the first frag. Kazu with another one, and they're going to be pushing up, and all the T's go down. Minus Miss Harvey. She will get a Tech 9 frag and tries to get a second one. Will get dropped, though, and another round on the board for CPD.
Yeah, so stringing them together now, as I mentioned, UBINITED's economy not in a great situation, but now they'll be able to buy again this round. 5 AKs again. Not uncommon that we don't see... See, this is the map that I haven't seen D. D was... Yeah, she's still sitting on 4 and 11. She hasn't been able to get the op-out quite as much. This is a map that I've seen Potter do some extremely good work on the CT side with the AWP, so we'll have to see how they choose to play it in halftime number 2. But it's the point I was getting at, not uncommon for the terrorist side on Inferno. The op's really only good for the entry. And if they're playing an aggressive Banana, you might be able to catch out one. But other than that, it's not really great once you get inside the sites. So it's not, like I say, uncommon to see the 5 AKs. And of course, that helps economy in the long run. So that said, slow round kind of going on right now. A minute left on the clock. Bomb still posted up in middle on Potter, as it's a 2-2 split. Otherwise, Miss Harvey and D working toward Banana. Arya and Dim in the A-bomb site, just inside Boiler. Smokes out on either site. They're trying to sell the CTs right now, but no one's really buying anything as Manta slowly fades towards CT, but he's going to sit there and linger as that smoke's still deployed at the top of Banana. D's the only one over there. She might be able to hold them there. In fact, they've gone back to A, so if she can keep them there, it'll be a 4-on-3 entrance on the A site, and it looks like that's going to be the exact situation. Watch out as UBINITED getting outside of the top of middle. That Incinerary, though, slows them down a little bit. Nice nade stacked up, but it only does damage to Dim. And watch out, a pop flash off the roof there from A, similar to what we've seen from AKS at ETS last year. Oh, wow, TMO coming back around, catches out Potter coming from truck side. Potter says she thought they were in sight in the comms, and unfortunately that was a miscommunication from the team. And now Takuzo's going to pick up one from Pit. And just like that, it's all over. The entry was a little bit sloppy. Potter thought, as she said, they were in sight, and they were not. So not a secured entry, and they just get slaughtered from all sides there. CPD stringing now 6 consecutive rounds together as we head into the last round of the first half.
Yeah, let's see if they can pick up this last one. If they can, could bring that momentum into the next half, and they can pick up T-side pistol. Definitely well on their way to winning the series, but UBINITED, they are down a map. Definitely need to have a strong showing winning this one, bringing it to a third. Arya will be leading the alt mid charge. 3 terrorists over here, but that's going to be a quick pick for the CTs. Miss Harvey trading back. But Kazu still posted up in apartments. Teemo playing from top mid. There's one very lit player in Miss Harvey. 2 HP on her. And she's going to get dropped through the smoke. Teemo just working his spray. And it will connect there. So 4v3 the situation. Bomb still near alt mid. Do have Die near banana. We'll see what they can work in the rest of this round.
Slow push heading up middle right now from UBINITED. They are a man down, as you say, and Manta's over on the arch side. That's going to give him good position, but that smoke's forced him back, and actually he's kind of fallen back, second-guessing himself as he thought they might be going toward B, but look at this. TMO gets out on Dim, Dakuzo catches out Die, and Potter manages to get one avenging kill before she bows out as well. So CPD definitely brought themselves back into this. 9-6 is a pretty average half in terms of a scoreline on Inferno, and if we just look at the way the rounds were distributed, it was actually 5 straight for UBINITED. And then it was all CPD aside from round number 9. And as I say, I'm going to go back to it one final time. On the CT side, on that first gun round, that over-aggression in middle really cost them because, as I say, it threw away the ensuing round as well because they had to save. So if that had not happened, had they picked up that round, this could very easily be an 11-4 scoreline.
Yeah, no doubt. Switching sides here. We are going to see UBINITED over on the CT side. We'll see if they can have a similar pistol round on the CT side that they had on Cash. Miss Harvey working those 1 clacks, as we've designated the word.
Clack, clack, clack.
Clackety clack.
Nice shot by TMO.
Yeah, Teemo just working his Glock frags right now. Manta, him as well.
That's crucial as well because, pardon me, that was crucial as well because it was, oh, we're still in warm-up. I apologize. The way that I looked up, I was reading chat because I thought we had a halftime, and then I looked up, and the way that they were peeking each other, I was like, this is totally live, and I missed it. Now I sound like an idiot, so I'm just going to shut up and let you do the pistol round.
No problem. I honestly thought you were just commentating on the warm-up. I was totally
well, I was
down
like,
to
man,
just
this is crucial. Harvey's already down in a pistol round. Oh, no.
Yeah. No, that would have been huge, and definitely not the case, but we're going to find out here what the T-side strat is for CPD. Like we were saying, 9 rounds, not bad at all for CT side, but could have been a little bit better. They picked up those earlier rounds, 5 in a row for UBINITED on that T side. So here we go. We are live in pistol. Miss Harvey pushed up in apps. USPS in hand. We'll be facing conflict here in just a moment. We'll be calling out that she hears them inside of apartments and will eventually get 1 frag. Will retreat 24 HP. That's going to stop things, at least momentarily. They are going to try and push out of mid. Miss Harvey will get another frag, and that's very important that she does so. Hurricane gets dropped in alt mid. 2 players left for the T's inside of pit. Teemo, Manta, just trying to hold. See if any of these CTs get peaky. We're going to see a grenade fly in from the CTs. Not a lot of damage done there. The CTs playing very slow, and rightfully so. They just want to work their crossfires, work their advantage. These T's do need to make it out of pit to be able to plant the bomb, obviously. The bomb is down near truck. 45 seconds left on the clock. We're going to see Manta trading some shots. Dim will collect the frag there, and Die is getting peeked, and Teemo will collect that one. 1v3, Dim with only 2 HP, so Teemo can get this 1 click onto Dim. Could make things a little bit closer. 25 seconds left on the clock. Arya just peeking back and forth, and Dim peeks out at a perfect time, collects that double kill.
Yeah, good crossfire setup. This is really important that UBINITED gets that pistol round. They are on the CT side. It was an even half, but why play from behind? Why have to make a comeback? Giving up the pistol round now to CPD would allow them potentially to stretch to what would have been 11-6, possibly 12-6, and then UBINITED really has the pressure on to catch up. Whereas now they can make this potentially a 9-9 game. They're on the favored side, so, we always emphasize the pistol round, the pistol round, the pistol round. Well, it gifts you the economy, and this gives them a real opportunity to make something of this and take the upper hand. And right now, they're going to absolutely mow CPD apart. The Bison's going out massively, as they try and rush into B. It's 2 frags apiece for both Potter and Arya, but interestingly enough, commentators curse as I mentioned it. They both go down. Dues, though, not able to get the bomb plant as Dim on a quick rotation will get him. And there you go, 9-8 already. 2 players down. Luckily, they were both Bisons, and I want to mention that, not M4s, so that won't hurt too much.
Yeah, and they actually had CZ armor there, so spending a lot of money there, CPD, trying to force that, and I was actually worried for a second. I'm like, they're hitting the site that has the 2 Bisons. This might actually be a little difficult, and then they just mowed down.
Keep in mind the Bison, and I think it was actually Scoots. It might have been Scoots that said this in chat during DreamHack. The Bison is the CZ break, because if you don't have armor, the aim punch from that thing is ridiculous.
Right, no, exactly. They did have armor, though. They had armor and CZs. So that was why I was a little bit worried. I'm like, oh, they're not going to do a lot of damage to them, but they collect that round.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Bison mow down and lots of money for it. When you see it die, will collect 1 frag. Peeking Boiler, but gets traded upon. Takazu with that frag. Coming up from behind, Arya, alt mid, will collect 1, but gets traded on immediately after. So 3 versus 3 here. Bomb is still at T stairs. Got Dues, Nakuza. Going to be working apps together. Just trying to work slow. We'll pick up an MP9. Not the optimal gun that you like to collect off of a dead counter-terrorist, but definitely better than nothing. We'll be nading out of apartments there is Dekazu. Miss Harvey playing from pit. Only 1 player here in Potter in top of B Banana, and we'll spot 1 player playing this one-sided smoke more or less, and we'll collect 2, we'll nade down, and this should do significant damage. No, actually, only 6 HP dropped by that nade, and that's going to be the pistol battle won by the terrorist. We're going to see a 1v2. Can he get the bomb down? No, Dim will stuff that, and rightfully so. Triple kill for Dim in this round, and 9-9 is our scoreline.
Yeah, no pun intended. Dim just stuck to her guns there. She knew as soon as the nade came out, there was a good chance that she would be re-peaked, and good play, that secures the round. A little bit closer than they might have liked, but it was going to be a gun round this time around no matter what, so it doesn't change too much, although it does kind of hurt that building economy that the counter-terrorists UBINITED were trying to establish. But as I said, it's all knotted up. 9-9, UBINITED on the CT side. It looks pretty good for them, and it looks pretty good for the viewers as well, because if they pick up this map, it means we're heading to the final map, which will be Mirage randomly selected to decide the series. Timo is going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm actually saying Timo now instead of TMO. I don't know why. Managed to pick up Arya through that smoke in Banana, so a good shot there. That gives the early advantage to the terrorists, and that's what it's all about. Playing the numbers game, playing it by strategy and picks, and that means the defense are forced to split up, a 2-2 split at that, and they haven't really decided to lurk back toward middle much. In fact, Dekuzo and Hurricane are still both there, but the bomb's still in Dues' hand inside Banana. D, meanwhile, though, has rotated off the B site for UBINITED, so Potter's going to have to do a substantial job if she wants to hold them off. And that smoke that actually came out at the top of Bananas right there, I think that was thrown by Timo, so I'm surprised that Potter didn't call that and have D rotate back. Mind you, that at the same time could easily have been a single smoke fake, and it looks like they are going to rotate back to A as I say it, so.
Yeah, Timo will be peeking here, just trying to pull some attention from the CTs, and it will work. Die has fallen back, and it's no longer covering Arch side. 3-4 terrorists heading towards the A site. They're going to have 1 wrapping through Arch side, and that's going to be very important for them, picking up the first kill, but traded on immediately after. Die will peek with that AWP from Arches. We'll get flash, though. And it is a 3 versus 3. Bomb has been planted. Miss Harvey's still in pit, so it's very important that she just stays alive. Make sure that her teammates can make it here in time. Timo will get the frag onto Potter. Drop down to 7 HP, though, and Die now knows the location. Miss Harvey will go down, and it's all down to Die. CZ75 in hand. 7 HP, but no! Timo, 7 HP on himself, will collect that frag, and it's going to be a triple for him in that round. 10-9 will be the first round for our T's in this half.
And yeah, as I said, UBINITED losing a lot of lives early on and are going to have to go immediately back onto the save, so this gives CPD a chance to potentially get a 2-round cushion. That said, 4 CZ75s out on the side of UBINITED and a 5-7 for Miss Harvey. All of those guns have potential one-click headshots within a certain distance, so if they play this right, potentially with a stack, it could work out extremely well, and they are doing just that. Harvey's over toward Boiler, but then it's D, Potter, and Dim all on the arch side at top of middle. And they're posted up just waiting. D's going to, just look at the positioning. D's looking toward middle, close up. She's going to try and sort of supersede that flashbang that comes in and get beyond it before it goes off. Potter was looking at the wall, and Dim was in the cubby, so flashbangs would have not potentially done a whole lot. Arya, meanwhile, though, over at B, manages to catch out TMO. And that's going to give the early advantage right now to the CTs. And doing that at B makes them think there's probably more players over there. And that means they might walk immediately into this mid-stack. But nope, they are not sold. They are going back toward Banana, and Arya is the only one there. And in that smoke, this is looking awkward, as they're both extremely close to each other. Extremely good play right there from Hurricane. I'm not sure if you saw that. Picked up the only gun sitting in Banana and threw it over top of the fence, so there was no chance that a UBINITED player could grab that and try and save it. And on that note, they're going to rotate back over to the A site. That's called maintaining economy, but there it is. There's that stack. D gets the first one. Hurricane's down. Dim on the second one. D with the third. And an unbelievable play. A gamble that pays off. And UBINITED mop the floor. All 5 players remaining on an eco round. And 4 AKs picked up. That's all they would find. That, as I said, that M4 thrown over top in Banana. So every gun was recovered. And Potter will pick up that final M4.
Yeah, great eco round for UBINITED there. Working the CZ75s, and that stack working out beautifully. Round 21, tie scoreline. Eco for the Ts. Manta, only one that purchased armor. The rest of them will be pretty much naked, minus their P250s. Heading up alt mid are 4 of the Ts. Die. Gonna meet conflict in just a moment. We'll grab one frag, heads back immediately, and they're just gonna fall back with that advantage. Deuce will come up. Miss Harvey, great headshot onto him. That's going to be another frag for the CTs. So only 3 left here. Hurricane now pushing into Boiler. He's going to try and work a frag from here. Hasn't peeked out just yet, but Die is right around that corner. Is going to be spraying their direction, and Manta goes down. Hurricane shortly after. Timo, last one on the field, gets a headshot onto Die, but tries to collect the frag on Dim. 8 HP and Arch isn't going to be the case, though.
The power of winning an eco and then picking up guns to not have to buy in the ensuing round. 2 rounds ago, UBINITED was saving. Now Dim's got over 10k. Arya's at 6, 76 miss. I mean, it's just ridiculous how quickly you can surmass money in this game after an eco round, and UBINITED is looking really good now as it's a full buy down to 0 for 2 players on the T side.
I need to get one thing out really quickly because my producer is going to kill me otherwise. Guys, the Karma game, it's going to be coming up right after we finish this, essentially. So CPD wins this map. They 2-0. They're going to move on. We're going to move to the next, basically, yeah, the Karma game. But if UBINITED continues their lead here, we will be moving into a map number 3. So just a heads up, I'll let you continue.
I'm worse at Lurpus for predictions, so I'm not going to go ahead and say that UBINITED would have this, but like I said, it is looking really good. So map 3 is very probable, as TMO will pick up on the first one. That's Arya down and out, so sorry, Arya, one of these things is not like the others. The male's not invited to the party. It's the 4 females remaining on the map for UBINITED. And the boys in, I was about to say the boys in blue, but they're not. They're on the T side. That would be orange, are going against them. But D is going to make a nice shot. TMO is down and out, and I think that was off versus off. He did have won that round. No, I think he had an AK. So nonetheless, it is a good start. UBINITED is going to continue on with that momentum as well, as Potter's going to pick up 1. D picks up another 2. She's up to a hat trick this round. Well played. As Hurricane, the only player remaining for the T side, is going to walk up Banana, and D, oh, so close to actually stutter stepping into her, is looking for that quad. It's still a 2-on-1. It's winnable for Hurricane if this works out, but Harvey's already rotated around to CT. As I mentioned in the pregame on map 1, her rotations are normally quite strong. And that bomb down means that Hurricane has no choice but to commit. And there it is, D with the quad. And she is doing, I have to say, really well with that AWP. So a great adjustment by UBINITED to put her onto that and let Potter go back to a rifle roll.
Yeah, definitely showing her skill on this side. We didn't see a heck of a lot of opping from her when they were on the T side. Just simply couldn't afford it too much. But definitely coming back in terms of frags, 14-3 and 17. Not too shabby at all. 2-round lead for UBINITED. CZ75s on 3 of the CPD players. Glock and a flashbang on Hurricane. is going to be utilizing that to allow his players to head out through Boiler, and that's going to be the case here. Miss Harvey will get one. Dim getting a second as they come out of Palace. The two players from Boiler. Timo goes down, and that is going to be the end of that rush. Hurricane, last one left on the field here, and tries to get the burst fire, and Potter will team kill Die, but will get the frag shortly after. So they're probably chuckling about that a little bit. I don't think, considering the scoreline, considering the money, they're probably not too upset about that.
No, not at all. Miss Harvey, 13.5 in the bank right now. Gee, she could pay off my student debt with that. I should give her a call.
I know, right?
And
nice.
the T's are going to go with the 5 AKs again. They've pretty much got to buy every round that they possibly can. They've lost 4 in a row, so after this, if they don't win, they will be looking at a loser bonus. Will help them at least stay in the game. But even with that loser bonus, you can't go full grenades and full armor. And, oh my god, it's Potter who's going to pick up a nice frag onto Dews. And that Incinerary separates Dews from his teammates and pretty much left him stranded up there. And the second one goes down now as Hurricane gets picked off as well. So another great start for UBINITED. Arya taking the brunt of the damage early on, it has to be said, in most of the rounds tonight. Already down to 24 yet again. As he falls back into the B site, and CPD are going to have to try and fall out of Banana and see if they can get something going over at A. It's not going to happen. Miss Harvey's coming out from a connector there at alt middle. She manages to pick up Manta. D again on the board at the Kuzo going down. So TMO, the only player remaining, and Potter pushing down Banana will pick up on him. So 14-10, UBINITED doing extremely good work, and actually is Potter leading the way at 20, whereas the rest of them are as close as you like. 13 for Dim, Arya 15, and 16 apiece for Harvey and Die. Whereas on the other side, a little more widespread. 24 for Dekuzo at the top, and Hurricane only on 9 at the bottom, so goes to show where teamwork applies.
No doubt, no doubt. Moving into round 25, UBINITED wanting to push this into match point territory. Arya getting very aggressive. Like you were saying, usually takes kind of the brunt of the damage. Definitely their entry fragger on the CT side, I suppose you could say. And they're going to be smoking bottom of Banana, and actually he's going to be re-smoking just so he can come out. They are going to get a pick on that truck side, and they will grab a second one. That's going to be Hurricane with a double. Potter will return, but will go down shortly after. 2 versus 3. It's going to be Timo taking down Arya. Die, last player alive here. Timo peeks. Going to miss that shot is Die. And again, 1v3 scenario. They do have a lot of money, so the downside to dying here is definitely that they would lose that op and give it to the other team. And that is going to be the case. Manta goes down, will collect that op for his effort, and CPD put another one on the board after losing. I think that was 5 in a row that they dropped there.
Right, so that means they will reset their money at this point, so they've pretty much got to win this one or they're back onto a save, and that'll be a save at the GG match point for UBINITED. So in some aspects, it's all in right now for CPD. This will determine if they can possibly surmount a comeback and get this thing a little bit further, wrap it up in 2, I should say, or if UBINITED will get this thing a little bit further. And continue on. Dekuzo, bottom and middle right now, trying to find anything he can. Timo there as well. Manta's actually going to be holding on to the AWP on the CT, or pardon me, on the T side, not TMO as we saw in Cash, and Die is going to catch out Dews with hers, so showing once again she's extremely well adapted to that position. Already up to 18 frags. Dim's going to go ahead and catch out Hurricane, so this is it. UBINITED looking to put the nail potentially, well, not literally, but potentially in the coffin, force them back onto the save in the next round. And shot still fired in middle. A flashbang goes out from the CT side, just trying to slow them down a little bit more. 50 seconds remain in the round. And UBINITED's barely lost any health at all. Dim down to 73, and that's it. But as I say that, a curse TMO is going to go ahead and take her down and out. So 4 on 3 as they... Oh, sticky keys. Come on. I thought I disabled you.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to be Die going down here. So that was what I suspected could have happened. 3 people wrapping around Arch, and we'll put down Die. So 3v3 scenario. We do see Potter coming from Arch side. Still in pit is Miss Harvey. Popular place for her to play, but Manta putting her down. Will get a second frag as well. Arya, last one on the field, collects 1 in Timo from that balcony position. 1v2. Gonna be moving up here, tries to take the spray battle and will connect, but unfortunately for him, Manta will peek and get that frag. So another one on the board for CPD, and we were just explaining how important that is. And they are definitely not down and out.
Yeah, great round. Good recovery for them. They were disadvantaged heading into the site, but they did a very good job. I apologize. I reformatted this sucker, and I thought I disabled sticky keys again.
There's always like one or two things that you forget. Like you have a checklist, and it's just like then it happens, and you're like, oh, how did I not think of that?
I know, and usually it doesn't happen that often because how often do I press shift 5 times in a row? But
yeah, I was gonna ask that as my second question, but
well,
apparently
because I was holding down my talk key and just letting autodirector do its thing. So, and I commonly bring up the overhead map when I cast. So
there you go.
Slow round to start things off right now. Neither team wanting to commit because, like I say, that round really shifted the momentum in this game in terms of the economy. I'll always reference that. It is a huge part of Counter-Strike. Everybody here cannot deny that, and this means that UBINITED would potentially have to save, if they lost this one, and that means it's all to play for. 15 round. They need to secure that. It's always a little bit elusive as UBINITED are trying desperately to push this into Mirage. And again, 50 seconds remain on the clock. It looks like mid and A will be the choice of destination. A miss. Oh, wow. That Molotov was misthrown. They bumped into each other, and it actually bounced off the wall and shut them out of middle. And that really put a hampering on their attempt to get inside the site. Takuzo, TMO, and Hurricane are all going to pick up beautiful headshots, and the bomb will go down. Arya rotating around the player from Area 51. Arya 51. Haha, I get it.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, he's going to actually hold on to the M4. This is not a bad play at all because, as I say, UBINITED is going to be forced back onto the save. Miss Harvey might be able to force out a FAMAS. And other than that, it's going to be Arya holding on to this gun and buying whatever he can. He's only got 150 as well, so at the best, he could get a FAMAS. 3 rifles tops, and with the bomb actually going to be timed out, it's going to be a push for that. I'm not great at math. I think they're pretty much going to be limited to this, so...
Yeah, they will be able to. They got 6K, 6.5K, Dim and Miss Harvey with those dollars in the bank. We are going to see Arya dropping that rifle for a teammate, and they are just going to be sharing across here. It will end up with Die lonely without a gun, unless there's one on the ground. Now there will be a FAMAS there, but she's just not going to take it. So that is just going to be a gun that stays in CT spawn. Not really sure how that happened. A little bit of miscommunication, I'm sure. We are going to see the T's moving up T-stairs, just playing very, very passive. Timo waiting for someone to peek mid. As we can see on the minimap, though, not going to be the case. Playing very passive at both sites are UBINITED. They have plenty of grenades to back this up, as we do see Smoke Grenade and Incendiary on both B players for the CTs. Only Manta just trying to get this jump up from Banana. The rest of the T's just cross-firing for each other. Pushing up mid. I'm going to see if they can work something on this A site. Again, we have a stack inside of the pit area. Dim holding from arch side. And it does look like that's where they will aggress. Are the T's coming out quickly? We'll drop Dim down to 42 HP. No damage received for the T's, so slight advantage there. They can pick up this round and bring it to a tie. It could be huge for them. It could mean the map. So let's see if they can make this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a lot closer than I expected. UBINITED gave away a round at the wrong time, and Hurricane catches out Harvey. Immediately avenged by D. Potter's going to get one as well, but the rotation from Arya is going to be a little bit slower than hoped for. And with that bomb down, it's now a 3-on-3 post plant. Make it a 2-on-2. Make it a 1-on-2. Pardon me, a 2-on-2. I missed count. Canadian counting. D and Arya still up. As Arya trying to bait out that bomb defusal, and Manta's going to jump into it, but getting that shot. Wow, though, D, unbelievable play. It was into a 1-on-1, and I did not expect from front of Graveyard that she would have any opportunity. She's got no kit, though. No kit at all.
Oh, my God, grab the kit.
No, it's too late. She didn't go for that. That kit was only 5-6 steps away tops. She easily could have had that defused. And a misplay there. UBINITED throws the round back to CPD and potentially the series with that right now, as they're going to be forced to save up, and they could give away that match point. 4 straight losses on the CT side. And man, oh man, CPD holding on and getting back into it. It's looking really good for them now.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit speechless after that one. That is not the way that CT round should have gone. Wow. Anyhow, we are 14-14. UBINITED looking to clinch this map and bring it to a third. CPD wanting to end their night early here. Arya will get forced out of the sandbags position. Meg 7 in hand, Swag 7 in hand. We do see 3 terrors, top mid. First frag goes to the terrors. Hurricane will get traded back though. That's going to be Miss Harvey getting that frag, and they will be able to take down Potter arch side.
Arya's way too slow on the rotation right now.
Yeah, he's heading up from bottom mid. Again, Meg 7 in hand, but actually rotating back.
No,
And
they
that's
miscalled
just
it. They
not good at all.
it. They totally thought it was going to be an arch to B based on the fact that everyone was left over on the A site. Harvey, though, inside the pit, managing to stay alive, catches up 1, and now it's a 2-on-2. Surprisingly, Manta's going to catch 1, but it's only a swag 7 for Arya. They're both low HP. He manages to get the first one onto Kuzo. Oh no, the smoke's there. Manta over on the right side. Arya, unbelievable, manages to pick up both despite a misplay. And this time, kids, that's why you have a kid. And UBINITED extremely lucky to manage to at least force overtime right now. And man, oh man, what a turn of events in the final 2 rounds.
That was just crazy. Miss Harvey playing a beautiful angle. They had no idea she was in pit and took that player down, peeking over Graveyard. And Arya, 2 very lit T's left. Mag 7 in hand, no big deal. Takes down 1, grabs an AK, finishes the last one. And that will be UBINITED on match point here, 15-14. Could bring it to overtime if CPD wins this round. Let's see what they have in store. Not a heck of a lot of nades for them. They will be forcing up. Only a full nade set on Manta. Smoke grenades on Timo Dews. Hurricane working up into apps. Lurking this position. 3 terrorists mid. Timo walking up banana. They're going to be trying this mid play once again, it looks like, and actually double smoking arch side. Interesting play, just making sure that it is completely covered. We'll be taking porch side here. So, once again, Miss Harvey inside of the pit. They've opted not to peek out quite yet. Dews will peek. Doesn't see anything. Bomb has headed back over to the B site. So, just kind of faking this a little bit. Not going to pull anybody off of A quite yet, because there is still 2 T's working arch side of mid. They're trying to get aggressive. Hurricane right around the corner. Dews here as well, and Die will fall back. And it does look like they're trying to work some sort of arch, basically CT wrap, and kind of both come into B site at the same time, but Die going to be critical in this position. And also, Dim rotating with her, so if they could get the backstab here, Hurricane and Dews pushing up now and coming down Speedway. Oh my goodness, they're going to get the spray down, and that's going to be huge. Dews picking up those frags easy for him. And Potter from Spindles will drop 1, gets traded upon Miss Harvey. Last one alive. 1v3 scenario. One player. Dews taking the frag. Oh my goodness, and those players that were running Speedway want that back. Who's there?
Over.
Over who?
Overtime, baby! UBINITED, man. Unbelievable. I've casted these guys about 4 times on Inferno, and I think 3 of them have gone to overtime. I don't know if that says that they can't finish, but they've got to find a way to secure that last round, and at least they clawed back into it, because it looked like it was all over until Arya had that huge clutch, So, overtime on T side. We're starting out with $10,000, 3-round halves. Everyone knows the rules. Let's jump on board. The big factor is who's going to get that first T round. It's much like Overpass when in the finals against NIP. It looked like NIP had it. They managed to get 1 against LDLC, but then LDLC got 2 on this T side. So it all comes down to the aggressive T side. And looking back at it, based on the 2 halves that we saw, I'm just going to break it down. UBINITED got the bulk of theirs based on a pistol round economy advantage. Whereas CPD earned most of theirs later on in gun rounds, so I would have to say it's a slight advantage CPD at this point.
Yeah, and being that they won that first map, they do have a little bit of momentum there. Not as much pressure going into this overtime. Obviously, they want to take it in 2 maps if at all possible, but they know they do have that kind of safety net in a 3rd map on Mirage. Like I said, they don't want to have to use it, but it is there. UBINITED, on the other hand, has no such safety net, so this is do or die for them if they want to stick in this. They are going to have to fight their way through overtime. This was their map pick, so I would give them an edge in that they definitely have looked fairly solid, other than obviously we kind of had those string of T-side rounds near the end there. But we are live in overtime, so 10K on each of the players. MR3 going to be spending 3 rounds on each side of the map. And we are going live right now.
The other key aspect to watch is, and it looks like actually D's gone for it, if you buy an AWP and you lose the first round, that's pretty much the only situation that you'll be forced to save immediately. So if UBINITED can't close out on this round, it's really going to hurt, and it would give a huge advantage to CPD. So watch for D. If she goes down and loses that, it's going to really hurt. D gets one. There it is with that AWP, but Takuzo manages to go back into Miss Harvey. And look at the aggression. Arya again at Banana. He's done it so many times. Manages to catch out Takuzo. And now it's a one-man advantage for UBINITED, or a one-woman advantage. I'm not sure how you look at that. I guess it is one man. There is one man on the team, and it was Arya who did it. So I'll stick with that.
Yeah, no, it works. Technically, and the player models are males, unless... Well, I guess they could be females as well. I can't say that. I'm getting way too into it. I'm analyzing way too much.
Or Emma Watson, whatever Emma that is, she is not happy with your sexism right now.
Oh, man, I've just gotten myself into trouble. I apologize to anybody, but regardless, we have 3 terrorists pushing up porch side of A. They're going to be smoking off pit. Heading in here in just a moment. Flashbang into pit as well, but from the arch side, Potter will be peeking through that smoke. Die and Dim cleaning things up, taking that first round of overtime. And like you said, very kind of, maybe not risky, but Die picking up that op. She was able to convert and saves it. So definitely a win there for the CT side.
And crucially, D managed to pick up some frags with that AWP, and more importantly, hangs on to it, so they won't be looking grim on the money side. Miss Harvey, though, did go down and had to buy out for a second time, so she's only got 35, but again, it's 3 rounds halves, so she should be all set. Meanwhile, though, throwing it in on the T side right now, TMO has picked up an op on their position, so this is really a Hail Mary in some aspects, because as I say, the T side, 1 round potentially could win it in overtime as you switch over to CT, so a strategic call, if you will, from CPD, and it looks like they're just going to passively wait things out. Interestingly, they've stacked up over toward the apartment side. Look at D. She's actually down there. How is she not seen right now, and how did she not see them? As Hurricane was very close to peeking her on that doorway. She's still looking back toward apartments. Nothing's going to come that way. That's a really aggressive op spot, I have to say. That's confidence at its best, especially this late in the round. And meanwhile, it looks like mid is going to be where they're heading on the T side.
Yeah, Die from this boiler position. Not opportune necessarily for the gun that she is wielding, but we'll get one Die with the CZ75. Will be traded upon, though, and that's going to be an op down in apartments. Coming around the porch side, Dim will take down Manta. Still aggressing, though. They are going to be pushing up. Timo tries to get the pick through the pillars. Won't land, though, and 2 players inside of the site. It's going to be Potter taking down Timo. Last 2 Ts wrapping around from Arch, and they actually did catch them off guard. Missing the shots, though, and Deuce will collect that frag. Arya will take down his counterpart there, but we are going to see 5 seconds left on the clock. We'll be flashing out, trying to save this weapon, as they do not have a heck of a lot of money on their side. And beautiful fadeaway nade will Pokeball Miss Harvey, and Potter getting that last one to take away that weapon.
Yeah, good round. And the important part is D managed to accumulate enough that actually she was, they picked up the op and threw it back to her. I was going to say she had enough to buy it again anyway, but smartly so, they grabbed that. And this will be it for the first half, so it doesn't matter. At this point, economy's all out. And look at this. As I mentioned on the T side, having bought that op, TMO is forced to save up to a CZ75, as is Dues, so UBINITED have done, I won't speak too soon, but have certainly done their part so far in overtime number 1.
And we do see some aggression up Banana. Going to be a quick frag for Hurricane. Arya will go down, meaning that the B site is fairly weak. Potter will be dropping a smoke, but I imagine they will be rushing through.
No smoke on CT, and D's there with the op, though. Keep that in mind.
Manta getting Potter. Will be Die on the other side with this AWP. Gets 1, misses the second shot. Nade will do at least a little bit of damage. Only 2, actually. And he'll pick 1. Great shot there. We do see Hurricane just on the other side of the smoke. 3v3 situation. Just waiting for them to get aggressive. Bomb has been planted. Let's see how they try and take this site. Miss Harvey will collect 1. tries to get a second, will get put down though, and it's all down to Dim. 1v2 situation. If they win this, they've won a flawless CT side half. Taps the bomb. Player in Hurricane comes in from Garden, and she heard him there, will collect the frag, and that will be 3 rounds in a row for UBINITED as long as this bomb defuse does. Yeah, oh yeah, plenty of time. Wait, what? What? I say plenty of time.
Unbelievable.
That is...
I didn't see that
wow.
coming either, and there it is. Unfortunately, another misplay on a bomb from UBINITED, and that's a T round that is going to be instrumental for CPD right now. That gives them an opportunity. You know, that's a huge misplay, even more so than the first time. Man, oh man, that really could be the overtime if CPD play this CT side like they should.
I felt so silly saying that she might not get it, and then when it actually happened, I was like, wait, what? Are you kidding? Like,
pretty much completely put my trust in you and watched chat.
I know, right?
It's all your fault.
It's all my fault, clearly. I dropped the round for UBINITED. Let's be serious here.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate, and there you go. CPD do manage to pick up one on the T side, so UBINITED's got a lot of work ahead of them. What could have been easy has now become extremely hard, and I have to say, though, good play by D to rotate back over. She's playing extremely well with that op. She's caught up to Potter. It's 28 and 26 frags, respectively, and 31 for DeCuzo on the opposing side.
I'm going to be interested to see.
I think was it... I forget who it was I called out. I think it was Hurricane, who only had 9 early on. He's up to 16 now, so caught up as well. So, but man, UBINITED throwing it away at a controversial time.
Yeah, that was Hurricane, not doing so hot, definitely picking things up, and I'm just curious, yeah, Dai will pick up an AWP. That was what I was going to speak about there, and they are going to take that risk. So like we were saying in that first half, if you do decide to pick that up, could be detrimental if you do lose a round. So we actually see ops on both ends. So, oh, that's going to be a quick pick. Die, not going to miss that one. And an early advantage to the T's.
Early advantage indeed, and an advantage that is very much needed, as I say. 1 T round, sometimes all it takes. Hurricane catching out. Oh, both of the T's, as they try and boost up at the top of the stairs and get over top of that smoke. And that's a nightmare right now for UBINITED, as both Potter and D go down, and D was holding on to that AWP, and as I mentioned, that's really going to hurt their economy. TMO is going to catch out Dim as well. And a little bit of frustration now as in-game, it sounds like Miss Harvey, or I'm not sure if that's Miss Harvey or Potter, but they're getting a little bit torn apart.
Yeah, and that's fair at this position. They definitely almost had a flawless first half, and that must have upsetted them, definitely coming into this one. But we are going to see them heading over to this B site. Only one player in Manta in sight. Hurricane, though, getting ready to flash out. 20 HP on him, and actually he's going to be rotating back over. If they can get this frag, and they certainly do, they're actually going to get both those frags, so opening things back up.
Fully open.
Versus 2. This is going to be a huge round if UBINITED can pick it up. Momentum and the round at stake.
I have to say, D and Potter, Dim, no disrespect, but Arya and Miss Harvey are the 2 most experienced players on this team, and they showed it right there. Patience was a virtue. They worked into that site, extremely calculated, and that's why they've executed this so well.
Yeah, and they're going to be rushing up here. Both players